Hello, viewers. Welcome to Full Record Jacket with Phil and Ben, and we are going to wrap up 1993 because it's been going on for far too long.
Yes.
Yes, we have been. For those of you who've not watched this feature before, we are this year going through every year of the 1990s, 1 year every month. We started in January with 1990, and April was 1993.
It
And we're
was.
now a bit late in wrapping it up because we're supposed to be listening to stuff from 1994 throughout
Already
the
have
month
been.
of
I'm
May.
on this,
Well,
Phil, Steve. You,
you're on
you
it.
know, I'm on
You're
it.
on it. So we have to pick our top three. We don't have to
Yeah.
put them in order, but top
No.
three albums of 1993.
Well, our
So
favourite albums of.
yeah, personal top three,
Yeah,
personal
yeah, yeah.
favourites. We're not
I
saying
did
the
listen to a
best.
couple more this week
Ooh,
from
I'm impressed.
1993. I did listen to the PM Dawn album, which was all right. It wasn't too bad.
Did it set you adrift on Memory Bliss?
Yeah, that was from the album before. You see,
Right.
that wasn't from that. That year, unfortunately. They do like the whole Bliss thing because they released a single at Christmas called Christmas Bliss. And I'm sure the album after the Memory Bliss one was something like Another Bliss or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, I listened to it. It was okay. It was meh, And then I listened to the Slow Dive album, which I actually really enjoyed. And it's almost cracked my top three, but not quite.
Oh, so we are getting shoegazery by
We
the
are,
month,
yes.
aren't we? We're getting more into the
Yes.
shoegaze.
Oh, but one of my albums could be classed as shoegazery, so
yeah. Oh, I'm thinking I know what that album is now. And I'm
yeah,
kind of glad if it's the one I'm thinking. I'm glad it's got into there.
yes, yeah. Well, do you want to know what my three are?
Yeah, let's go with your three.
In no particular order, is Bjork's Debut. So that's in there because I just love that album. It's a mixture of genres. It's a little bit mental, which I think if Bjork was honest, she would say that she's a little bit crazy. So that's in there. It goes a little bit drum and bassy at parts. So yeah, that's in there. Are you happy with that one?
I'm happy as Venus as a boy. I'm so happy. There's actually isn't there a song about happy on that album? It's got happy. Has it got happy in the title? I should have said that one. Wasn't there something about I'm happy? I can't.
I think there is. There's like Somebody in Love. Violently Happy.
Violently happy. See, of course it is. Violently happy.
But do you want to redo that joke? Are you happy with that one, Phil?
I'm violently happy with that, Ben.
Oh, are you? How'd you be violently happy?
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. So yeah, so that one's gone into my list, and then next up is probably the album that sort of surprised. Well, actually, my next two albums surprised me more than anything. But it's Siamese Dream by Smashing Pumpkins.
Now that has surprised me in a way because at the start of this year, I'm not so surprised now, given what you said about it the other day. But at the start of this year, I wouldn't have put you down as having Smashing Pumpkins.
I've got Smashing Pumpkins, Phil. Don't you worry.
Top three.
So is it just the way my trousers are hanging?
Well.
So yeah, that is in there. Siamese Dream. I never thought I'd have Smashing Pumpkins in there, if I'm honest, because Mr. Corgan. I keep going to say Corrigan.
Yeah, it's Corgan. Yeah,
Billy Corgan. You know, his voice is a little whiny, but I think. Do you know what? It did remind me a little bit of Remy Zero. This album. I don't know if you know of Remy Zero.
I don't know it well. No.
Oh, brilliant! The Golden Hum. That is one of my favourite albums of all time, The Golden Hum by Remy Zero, who I think they're on Elektra Records. Elektra, if you're listening, and I know you are, get it released on vinyl, please. Thank you. So that's my second album. And then my last album for 93. Like I said, the Slow Dive album, I actually really because I'm sort of appreciating it now more for what it is than what it isn't. But I did listen to that a couple of times the other day, oddly in the gym. It's not gym music, but it's the Verve album.
So, Storm in Heaven.
Storm in Heaven. So that is, yeah, I wasn't expecting. It's a bit like sort of, when you get into a band and they've already released a couple of albums before, and you're like, oh God, those like the early, not though, but like Travis released albums before The Man Who, and so did Ocean Could Have Seen before Mosley Shoals, but nobody ever listens to them. And I think that's the same with this Verve album, but it was very good, son. So that's my 3 for 1993, Philster.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you know that.
It's a very diverse choice. You've got American band, a British band, and an Icelandic, randomly eccentric artist.
Yes, yeah. That's the best way you could have described it, to be fair.
So I've gone with the 3 that, well, I couldn't find any other albums that I like more than these 3.
Yeah, because you did say 1993. There's lots of albums, but there's no one that sort of.
There's lots of albums that are good, but it's difficult to find any where I think, wow, this is blowing me away.
Yeah.
And I need to revise everything I thought about 1993. So I've ended up really with the 3 that I enjoyed the most at the time, although one of them I kind of discovered slightly after the time. But
that's allowed.
We're going to go with. Oh, shall I go with the one that people are going to whine about first?
Go on then.
Well, I say some people might do, and not because of necessarily the album, because of the band. Some people are not. We know we're going to get some people go.
Is it a letter and a number? Yes. Suropa.
Now, this was an album by U2 that, of course, the world wasn't expecting, because they did Achtung Baby in the late. It came out in late '91. Then they went on a tour, and it was a big tour, the Zoo TV tour. And they started off in arenas in America, and then they ended up doing stadiums. And '93, they were doing that summer. They were doing stadium tours, or the tour was going to stadiums. I actually saw the tour in August of '93 at Wembley, but I think it was around June time, and it wasn't too long before it was released. They suddenly said, "We've got a new album. We've made an album." It was going to be an EP, and it ended up being longer. And I really like Zooropa. I mean, I know that some U2 fans, well, obviously there's some people who don't like U2 anyway, but of people who like them, and when I say people don't like U2, they tell you that they don't like U2. But of the fans, some of them didn't like, long-term fans didn't like them doing this electronic experimental stuff, and that was, a bit wacky and a bit unusual. But I really liked that era. I think it's perhaps some of my favourite stuff by them was when they were doing experimental stuff.
You went to the pop tour as well, didn't you? I remember.
I do. See, I also one of those people who defends the pop album, which is hard. I know
Bono says it's unfinished, doesn't he? So
yeah, it's hard to defend that one because the band themselves don't do a lot to defend it. They've kind of.
Is that the one with Staring at the Sun on it?
That's on there. Yeah.
They had the big lemon on the stage, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, the album wasn't finished. They had to rush finish it, which obviously turned them against it a little bit. And then also we can talk about that more when we get to 97. But yeah, so I'm putting it in there. U2 Zooropa. I still enjoy the album, still like it. So it's going in there. So next we've got, we'll go with a woman. Is this the first time I've had a woman?
Woman.
We're going with Liz Phair and Exile in Guyville.
Yeah.
The 18-track. What is it? The feminist version of Exile on Main Street, supposedly. Doesn't sound anything like the Rolling Stones and doesn't have any real relation to it. But
is it bluesy?
It's lo-fi indie rock, I suppose. I wouldn't say it's bluesy, no, but it's just guitars, bass, drums, and songs, basically.
Guitars, bass. Yeah, that's all you need, isn't it?
That's all. That's bare minimum. But yeah, I did catch up with that a little bit after '93, but I'm going with that. And then there's another one that I did buy in '93, and I still think it's a very good album. It's arguable that this band never quite topped this debut album, and that is
Take That.
It's Counting Crows.
Oh.
With August and Everything After, which I still find a very repeatable album. And I think I did a video on this record. I'm sure I did one last year.
I'm sure you did it when I was poorly.
So I won't go on about it too much now. You can find the video about me waffling on about it on my own if you want to know more about it. So that's U2, Liz Phair, and Counting Crows. Those are my 3 of '93.
I'm surprised. I'm just having a look because
is there something you'd expected me to have had in there that wasn't?
Yeah, and I just want to make sure before I. Oh, it was 1990. Oh no, you could have had Take That. Everything changes.
Well,
everything changes, but you.
Everything changes except my top 3.
Oh, okay. So that's what we're going with. So who have we had? We've had Liz Phair, Counting Crows, U2,
yeah,
Bjork, Smashing Pumpkins, yes, please, and The Verve. That's not a bad '93.
It's a good diverse selection.
Oh,
isn't it?
somebody's in my. I'm in my living room, and I've just noticed somebody's got Watermelon. Oh, I could murder some Watermelon, but that's not a bad '93, dude. Seeing as I thought '93 was going to be awful, and we've left out some good ones as well.
Yeah, and you've actually not had any hip hop, which is nice.
I've not had any hip hop, but I almost went for hip hop. But I
know you always nearly go for hip hop.
I know. I almost went for hip hop, but we're coming up towards 94, 95. So Tupac's All Eyes on Me could get thrown into the mix at some point. So it could happen. But I'm happy with 93. We can close the door. Well, we can close the door on it until October, November time. In November.
Well, you might be happy with 93, but our viewers might be absolutely outraged at those choices or some of them. So you'll have to let us know, viewers, what did we miss from 93 and what should we not have had in our top 3 if you were us? What would you have put in there? Let us know in those comments, and we will be back shortly with a discussion about 1994, would you believe?
Yes, let's do it.
In the meantime, thanks for watching. All the best.